Hi there, viewers. Today, I'm joining a conversation with author Olabayo Awodirepo, the author of Tale of Medouze and Other Poems. It's a pleasure to have Bayo featured on the show today. Welcome on the show, Bayo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here this
Yeah, it's a
time.
pleasure to finally have you on English Literature to talk about your book.
Hmm.
So, Bayo, could you tell us about your book, Tale of Medouze, and Other Poem? How does this book come about? What inspired you to write Tale of Medouze and Other Poems?
Tale of Medouze is just no. Let me start with the name Medouze first.
Yeah.
Medouze is just it's a special character I created myself.
Oh.
So when I call it Tale of Medouze, it's just like the life of Medouze, sort of.
Mm,
So Medouze is just a picture or an image that represents every one of us. It represents humans, talk about our challenges, things we pass through in life, and how the challenges of life shape us. They are part of the poems where I wrote something on lesson from failure, things I learned about life, things about being schooled yet not being skilled. People
mm,
go to
mm,
school and all they have is just a degree and nothing else. So, this is just, is an image that just shows that talks about, every one of us as humans, our daily challenges, things we pass through, and how these challenges actually from us. You understand? So that's the book itself is divided into three parts. The first part is just talking about the person of Medus, while the second part is just more like a message to the readers, you know, talking about relationship, family, and all of those things. And then I have the third part of it, which is centered on my home country, which is Nigeria, centered
mm,
on the situation in Nigeria, talking about the leadership, the use of power, the people, and all of that. That is so what inspired me to publish this, because I've actually written it since 2019, 2020. I've already written this during, okay, I think I finished it during COVID, during the
oh,
pandemic and all of that. But I wasn't quite sure if I should publish it.
oh,
That feeling of, oh, is this book good enough to publish, and all of that.
understand.
So, well, I got talking with some of my, mentors, and Tolu Akemi was one of the major ones who actually pushed me to say, guy, you just have to, your Facebook doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you do something. So I said,
Mm,
fine, if that's the case, so let me get this done. So I completed everything. I had done the book cover 2021. I didn't publish
wow.
until last year, April 24, which was my birthday. So
Oh,
I published it last year, April 24, to celebrate my birthday, and that's just it. So for me, it's just a way to inspire myself to do more, to overcome that fear of putting myself out there for people to read me and probably criticize my work and all of that. So
mm,
that was just it. So I just feel like, okay, just put yourself there, put yourself out there. And someone once told me that your book is your global ID card. So you
absolutely.
don't know where it's going to get to. So anybody can read your book and get to identify with you. So I felt cool. That's it. So that was my inspiration.
That's quite amazing. That's quite a lot of, story to take in. I love the motivation to this. I love the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you mentioned that a book is a global ID card. That got me
Yeah.
thinking. That's very good. That's a great
Mm-hmm.
point, actually. I
Mm-hmm.
never thought
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Of course. Anybody can just pick your book and, without even knowing where you are from, from your
Absolutely.
book, they can tell, they can get to know a few things about it. So that's your
Mm,
ID card globally.
yeah, that's true. That's great. And that's quite amazing. I also want to ask you, Bayo, for readers like me who haven't read Tale of Meredith and other poems yet, which of course I'm gonna have to read afterwards, without giving much information away, could you have a sneak of what we'd expect picking up the book?
Just like the front page of the book, I wrote something like um a collection of poetic lines to inspire, motivate, educate, instruct, and inform. And
Mm,
that's basically what the book is gonna do to everyone that reads. So it's not just something that you would pick. You don't even have to be a poet because people believe that it is a poet that understands the mind of a poet.
Poetry. Yeah.
Okay, but in this case, it's written in such a way that anybody can read and get value from it.
Mm.
So be it inspiration, be it motivation, be it something educative, instructive, informative, that is all you expect to get from this collection of poetry.
That's great. And at this point, I would love you to show the book to the camera if you have a copy there with you.
Yeah, I've got a copy here with me. Okay, yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good, nice design there.
So the picture you see here, you can see more like the shadow, two men backing each other,
Mm,
and in between them you see the moon.
yeah.
Okay, that was basically what I told the designer. I want something that shows because the person of Medouze is just someone who is lost in the world of challenges.
Oh,
And that is what the picture itself is depicting. The man and the shadow backing each other, and then we have the moon in between, more like okay, once the light comes, clarity comes too. That
absolutely.
is what it is. So, this man is in deep thought, different things going on in his life. I think inside the collection, I wrote something on depression and how
Mm,
and how having friends around can help you get out of depression and all of that. So
absolutely.
that is basically what it is all about.
Wow, this is very interesting. I'm engulfed. I'm already fascinated with the description and everything. Now, I just want to ask you, as authors, we all have different ways of reacting to feedbacks and criticism of our works. I'm curious to know your opinion about criticism. How do you react to negative criticism of your book if you've ever had one in time past?
Okay, I don't think I really had negative criticism of my book, but I remember I posted a poem on the group one time, and someone, criticized the work in a very negative way. It
Oh,
really got to me because
oh,
because in that moment I felt like, yes, I'm doing my best shot. This is going to be a bomb, and
somebody just say, oh
and
no.
somebody just just put a pin inside a balloon, and that's just
And boxed everything away.
so it got to me. But then I felt like, okay, even you as because I have people that are also trained, that even you as a mentor to others, you
Mm,
usually pick their work, you tell them what is not good about their work just
yeah,
because you want them to be better.
yeah.
Okay, but I do it in a way that there's what we call I don't know, I've forgotten the term they use for it now. Okay, sandwich, the sandwich way of criticizing, like you first appreciate the work, and then you tell what is not right and all of
Mm.
that. So you are constructive in your criticism, but this particular one was not constructive.
Oh
It
wow.
was the kind of destructive criticism, like there was nothing good about the work at all.
Wow.
But since I felt okay, cool. It's just a way of just that means you need to do better. If others are clapping for you and just one person says no, it is to that rubbish. That doesn't mean that the person hates you. Maybe that's the way the person feels he or she should express himself or herself. So I felt okay, that's cool. So I
Yeah.
took that upon myself to do better and see things I need to improve on. Even before I published this particular one, I shared it with a few people. I asked them to just read through and give me their feedback. They gave me their honest feedback, things I need to, include, things I need to improve upon and all of that. So I had to work on all of these things. The book went through series of editing over and over again, proofreading, correction, and all of that. So for me,
Right.
criticism is a way to make yourself better, no matter whether it's constructive or destructive. It depends on how you handle it. Just see it as a way of, making yourself better. That's it.
Yeah, I love that. I love your take, your opinion, and idea on criticism. And I understand that the negative one can sometimes get to us, make us feel somehow, because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen quite a lot of them when I was coming up also. And
Yeah.
now I'm curious to know if you experience any challenges while writing your book. If there's any, could you share with us what challenge it is and how you ultimately
Uh,
overcame it?
challenge. Well, I think I experienced a number of challenges. The one I would remember the most because in as much as try not to accept that I'm a perfectionist, I think I have traits. I have I have a trait of a perfectionist. Like no matter how good the work is for me, I still feel I've not done well. I still feel there's
Mm.
something that is missing. So one of the challenges I had is accepting the fact that the work cannot be 100% okay
Oh.
for me to get it published.
Mm.
Okay. And
Oh,
that's why it took me like 2 years before I
wow.
actually put this work out there because I felt something is still missing. Each time I read again, I feel like, oh, this line is not okay. Let me change this one. Let me add this. Let me, So it's one of the challenges I had,
Yeah,
accepting the fact that a published work at least doesn't have to be 100, no matter how you do, it cannot be 100% perfect. Okay,
absolutely.
I was looking for that 100% before I could get it published. So that was my number
Mm.
one challenge.
Oh, wow.
The second challenge I had was, deciding on how to get it published. Being in Nigeria is quite difficult to say you want to get a book published on Amazon and have an account to to register with, for you
Mm.
to get paid and all of that. So I wanted to give up on that. Okay, let me just look at let me just publish on Okada books and just forget about it. But then I felt, okay, guy, you need to go global. You don't need to, make it local. So I had to go through some trainings on how to publish on Amazon, KDP and all of that, how to link your accounts, blah, blah. So I did all of that and it went through. So I thought, okay, cool. So I set that up and I was able to publish on both Amazon and on Okada books. So that's the second challenge I had. The third challenge I had was on, I think that would be, hmm, okay, that's not about writing. I think that's about making sales.
Oh, marketing.
So marketing. But I think for writing, those are the two major challenges I had before I got the book published. Not
Mm.
being sure if I was ready to get it to make it available for the general public, and what platform to use to get it published.
Wow, that's quite a lot of challenges, and I can relate to some that you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
especially the one of having to publish on Amazon from Nigeria.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
obstacles you have to pass through,
Mm-hmm,
a lot of
mm-hmm.
restriction. You get to this point, oh, this is the next thing to do. When you get to
Yeah.
so this is not available for Nigeria, but oh my God, what do I need to do next?
Seriously.
You understand? So it's a lot of processing, and I'm quite excited to know it's finally out. And now I want to ask you to, apart from Tale of Medouze and other poems, do you have any other works you've authored or currently working on?
Yeah, I think I published Tale of Medouze in April. I think sometime around August, September last year. I published a self-help book, which was basically for teenagers who are still in secondary
Mm.
schools,
Wow.
and that was tied to effective study habits, developing effective study habits. And what really inspired me to do that, while I was serving in 2017, when I was in my NYC, the National Youth Service program for
Yeah.
Nigerians, I was part of a team's teenagers outreach, and one of the things we did was, writing some devotional materials for the teenagers and all of that. But coming back home, I realized that even when I was growing up, I found it difficult to, when it comes to studying, I wasn't there. Those moments that
Mm.
you already, when exam is tomorrow, you start reading tonight. Yeah, and it was quite difficult to really have an effective study habit. So I thought of all of that and I felt, okay, there are still many young people who still battle with this kind of thing and they
Mm.
find it difficult to study. So I put that together. I wrote something on that, and actually, it's more in line with my faith as a Christian because I still link everything back to the scriptures, what the
Oh,
scripture
wow.
says about being studious and all of that. So I still link everything back to the scriptures, and just a way, it's more like a devotional guide, but that helps you to improve on your study habits.
Mm.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
published that, and it's not for sale. So I made it free of charge. I think we published 500 copies of that, and we
Wow.
distributed to teenagers in churches and some schools, and then we gave to some other organizations who have teenagers in mind. So that was what I did last year. I still hope to get more copies and send to some other people, but that will be a project for later.
Oh, that's such a great one to do. And I want to say
Thank
thank
you.
you for volunteering to do all of these things. They're quite amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, could you tell us what publishing is like for a published author like yourself? What are the challenges you've encountered in terms of marketing your books? And what are the mediums you've utilized so far in promoting Tale of Medouze and other poems?
I think I need to take a deep breath for that. Yes, marketing is not an easy thing. And I think I used to be this kind of person who I don't know how best to place it. But I don't think like I won't call myself a marketer. I'm not a good marketer. I'm not
Yeah.
good at marketing, product and all of that. But I realized that when you have something that you are selling and you are not making noise about it,
Mm,
nobody's gonna know about it. So you have
absolutely.
to you have to make noise about it. You have to proclaim it. You have to shout it. So when I published the Tale of Medouze last year, um, I I did a launch on the 24th of April, and I called a number of friends, loved ones, family members. Tolu Akiyemi was also there that day. So I launched the book and, friends contributed, they donated some money and all of that. So
Mm,
that at least raised cool money. Then I put it on Okada Books and on Amazon KDP. So I was just making use of my social media to
promote.
advertise the book, but I didn't make much noise about it until
Oh,
recently. Until recently. So recently, I ordered author's copy from
oh
Amazon.
wow.
So what I now do is go to people one on one. I say, "Guy, this is my book. I just published. Are you gonna buy it?" so so it's
Wow.
it's it's, it's not to do evangelism now.
I love that. I love the fact that you take it to them and say, oh, yeah, this is my book. I think I love to start doing that. Just that I don't have much copy of my book here. And yeah, that's actually a good thing to do. Going to people,
Yeah,
say, I'm an
because
author.
I realize that some people feel like they don't have Amazon account, they may not be able to order from Amazon. Some other thing, because that books is just for you to read inside the app. It's not like you can have the copy with you
Oh,
and all of that. So I feel okay, that let me save the stress of ordering online. Let me just order for others copy and bring it to you, and then you pay me. That's all.
mm, that's great. I also want to ask you, as a published author, what sort of advice do you have for other writers who are still struggling with publishing a book like yours? What did you tell people in this category?
I think I'll start with what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Your work cannot be 100% perfect. If
good one.
that's what you are waiting for, you will never publish. I mean, never.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As a Nigerian, let me say never. You will never publish. So don't. I'm not saying you should not publish something that does not make sense. So,
Yeah,
so let's get the balance.
absolutely.
So your work doesn't have to be 100% perfect before you get published.
Mm,
Just make sure it's good enough, and don't just depend on what you have written alone. Let other people who know about this, let them read what you have written, hear feedback from them. So
mm.
there's and I know how to let me just just put one or two things together and then say I'm also a published author. We have a lot of them out there. So
Absolutely.
because if I pick your work and after the first 2 pages I'm saying you now go and come and say I will just close the book. That's all. So if you don't have to edit yourself, get an editor to edit your book
Absolutely.
for you.
Yeah.
Make sure it's error free, especially if you're writing in English language or language, let's say international language, and you have an international audience. Make sure you're writing in a standard way so that your audience can enjoy, your readers can enjoy reading your book. So
Mm,
don't be scared to put yourself out there.
absolutely.
Just do it. Can't tell. But you
Wow.
start with one before you know it, you already have five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. So
Mm,
just start anyway.
yeah. That's a good one. Thank you so much for your advice. And I'm hopeful that viewers, including myself, would love to
Mm.
utilize it. because I do love the part that you mentioned that it doesn't have to be thoroughly perfect at the first time. I remember my
Mm-hmm.
first book, Ecstasy of the Dead. I still need to republish another version because when I go back to it, I'll be like, oh wow, I need a lot of adjustment to make because
Of
it's my
course.
first book. And even
Mm-hmm.
by then, I thought I did the very best, until I have to
Mm-hmm.
revisit it and get some feedback from people saying, oh, there's some errors here, there's some things you need to do. So I put that aside currently, which I'm currently working on the second edition to put out. So I can relate to you saying it doesn't have to be thoroughly
Yeah.
perfect as a first time. But then
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't say we should bring out junks.
Exactly.
So that was a very good
Well,
and
like I
perfect.
said, that your book is a global identity. So
Absolutely.
if you just publish anything, nobody's going to
Yeah,
to reckon with you. You can't become an authority in your niche if you just publish
absolutely.
anything.
Yeah, that's great. And at this point, I wouldn't mind if you would love to recite one or two poems, just so we can have an
Yeah,
idea of some
of
of your works.
course,
That would be great.
of course. I'm gonna read one from the part three, which has to do with my nation,
Okay,
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
and then read another one from the first part, which is the person of Medouze.
Okay,
All right, so let me read from the first part. This one is titled My Shell, My Shell. And
Michelle.
this is written based on, I used to be, I don't even know if I'm an introvert or an extrovert right now.
Oh,
It's as if I've been able to combine both, and I just decide which one, depending on who I'm interacting with.
yeah.
So maybe I'll become an ambivert. So my shell is written based on the fact that, there are people that will, in a way, bring you out of the shell, and along the way they just leave you stranded. Like, okay, why did you even make me come to you when you know you'll never be with me forever?
Oh.
It's not a breakfast poem, so don't say oh yes.
That's
So
funny.
my shell, it goes as push me not if you will laugh when I fall. Pull me not if you will complain of my weight. Draw not my attention if you will ignore my call. Care not for me if you won't when I'm out of sight. When you consciously bring me out of my shell, don't make me wish I never embraced your move.
Wow.
Don't make me wish I never bought what you sell. Don't make me wish you evil, though you see me groove. Though I need help to come out of my shell and an easy push to come out of my solitude, I'm only scared you will make me a story to tell and a laughing stock among the multitude. So
Wow.
let me enjoy my shell's warmth till I can freely find in you some comfort.
Wow.
So that's it.
That's some deep stuff there. That's some deep stuff there. I love I
Yeah.
from the very first stanza, it's more like an advice. It's more like,
Mm-hmm.
somebody speaking frankly. Don't do this if you can do this. Don't
Yeah,
do
that's
this
it.
if you can do this. It's very nice. I love it. I
Mm-hmm.
love the
Mm-hmm.
sound of it. I
So
wouldn't mind
push
if you would love
me
to
if
show
you will
us.
laugh when I fall.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great
What
one.
is
That's some
it?
words
They
there.
have the Yeah, I love that. Actually, this was based on a true life story. So let's
Oh,
leave that for now.
oh,
Based on a true life story. So one of those things we face in life. So
yeah.
all right. So the second will be from the third part, which has to do with Nigeria, and this one is titled um being a Nigerian. Being a Nigerian.
Okay.
It's written if this a kind of haiku poetry, a kind of haiku poem, and this earned me an award in 2021.
Oh, wow.
I wrote this in
Congratulations.
2021 to win a particular haiku challenge.
Oh, wow.
I included this in my book when I was publishing it. So being a Nigerian, that is the title. Played with other kids, not minding what religion they were practicing. Ran around the streets with other little children, not minding their tribe. We all sat around the cooking pot, taking a spoon bit by bit with joy. We walked down the stream, not being scared of the quietness. We appeared so bold. Being a Nigerian is the best thing I believed, but the story seems to have changed.
Hmm.
So that's
Wow,
it.
that's a great one. It's really changed. It has changed a long time ago. And,
Yeah.
you know, I can really relate to that. It has
Those
changed
days that,
terribly.
it doesn't matter. You don't even need to, the
It has,
parents are leaving. They just say, oh, mommy, so, so, and so. I'm going out, so please let my son be with you till I
mm,
come back. And,
mm. Things have
they,
changed,
we feel
honestly.
safe. We eat together in the same place without thinking, oh, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're Igbo, you're Yoruba,
Absolutely.
you're this and that.
Mm.
We play together, road tire on the road and all of that.
Things have really changed. That poem itself can lead to an extensive conversation that I would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
loved to go much deeper, but because of our time, I love to just take it. It's a lot there. It's a very short
Mhm.
one, but then it's powerful. The information,
Yeah.
but things have really changed drastically,
Mhm.
changed that we don't even know how to correct it. That's a great one. So I want to ask
Okay.
you, where can readers get a copy of your book, should in case we have viewers who are interested in purchasing a copy?
Yeah, you can just go to Okada Books, OKADA, then books, and you search for Tale of Medouze on Okada Books, or you go to Amazon and under the KDP section, you just search for Tale of Medouze. You will get a copy on Amazon, either as ebook or as paperback on Amazon. Or you can just go to my digital page, which is at linktree .wittypen.com. So that you can have access to every other thing I've worked on.
Yeah, that's great. And I've left a link in the description part of this interview for viewers who would love to get a copy directly on Amazon, on Okada Books, and via the website. So thank you so much, Olabayo, for accepting the
Thank you for
invitation to be
having me.
featured on P English Literature. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for thanking me. So
Yeah, it's a pleasure speaking with you.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you. You're doing a very good job. I must commend you for that.
Yeah, thank you. That makes me blush.